I'm so excited. We've got Vanessa, who is a community member amidst a rates association, really, just helping the city get better. And because we have so many UIPs and rates associations that are literally taking power back, I wanted us to, as a church, get on board with this and understand how the city can work better and we can play a role. Vanessa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Speak to us a little bit about eThekwini and some of the good news stories.
Oh, I have so many, but I mean, they're wonderful. We've had people come out and rewire our electricity and steal it from everybody and do it for free. The bosses have called them in saying, we'll pay you overtime, and they've said, no, thank you very much. And the storm the other day, and all the trees fell over. Our residents were going out with chainsaws to cut, and the next thing we knew, parks arrived, and they had great fun. The residents were doing it with them and packing the stuff away. There's such good people out there in eThekwini that really want to get stuck in and really want to help us.
Tell us, because so often residents get upset with people who are working overtime.
Yes.
And there's just a breakdown in communication. Talk to us about that.
So you can't really win. When they didn't have any limitations on the overtime, the residents were really angry because they were doing so much overtime. And then eThekwini put limits on overtime, and now the residents are really angry because they only get, I think it's 10 hours per week. So if it's not critical, they're not going to come out because they don't have any overtime.
Yeah.
And that's why they've started doing it for free. I mean, so many of them will just come out and help you because they understand, they feel your pain. So they're not, you see them working at night, they're not making a buck. Half of them are doing it for free in their own time because they know what you're going through.
And Vanessa, I mean, you're doing it for free.
Yes.
On behalf of a community of people, you're going, hey, how do we make Durban North, Briding kind of area, how do we fix that and make it work? Have you built up great relationships with different...
I have tried to. Parks is a bit tricky. They tend to move around a lot, the guys, but they all know each other, so they're wonderful. Electricity is fantastic. We've got Metro from the northern region. Luke, he's wonderful. A building, Claire. So we've managed to build up a really good way of somebody phoning and saying, listen, I need help here. And we can do an email and get to the bottom of it straight away. So we've been very lucky. But again, we respect them.
Yes.
You know, respect goes a long way.
Yeah. Speak to us, because in all of this video and all the conversations, I'm trying to bring communities closer to eThekwini. Speak to us about the responsibility of a person in the city to log faults, take pictures, make sure that eThekwini knows what's wrong, because there's nobody else doing that. So just speak to us about that.
I get a lot of frustrated residents. They'll say there's been a pothole there for 4 weeks and no one's come to fix it. And you go, give me the reference number. And they're like, no, but it's been like that for 4 weeks. And you go, well, you have to get a reference number. You have to log it. And there's so many ways to log it.
Give us a list of how.
There's the apps, both for Android and Apple. There's emails, so e-services. There's WhatsApp lines. I mean, there really is. Then, of course, you can phone and sit on hold for 20 minutes.
Speak to us about the app.
The app is fantastic. The app's the easiest thing in the world to do. So that street light, it doesn't work. You can just go onto the app. It'll give you like multiple choice, you know, and you go light pole, press light pole, you put the pole number in, you put the address, and you send. And you'll get a reference number and you'll be able to monitor while it's getting fixed and if it's been fixed. So say you're driving along, my Uber driver, fleet of Uber drivers that are forced to log onto my Wi-Fi when they drop me off and download the apps, they can go anywhere and log from wherever it is and monitor that it actually got fixed. They can geolocate. So if you don't know the address, you can actually pin it. And they'll know there's a water leak here, or there's a pothole, or whatever. It's the easiest thing in the world to do.
So because most people listening to this are going, yeah, but I tried it once and nothing happened.
No.
talk to us, because there are systems in place to make sure
100%.
stuff happens.
Correct.
How does it work?
So when you log a fault on any of those mechanisms, you get a reference number. Yes, sometimes it takes a couple of hours to get a reference number. I appreciate that. But you'll see when you get the reference number, it'll say it'll be addressed between 12 and 24 hours. And that's their promise to you. So you then take control of the situation. You don't feel as helpless. You've logged this, you've now got it, and now you own it. And if they don't come and fix it, then you can escalate that. You've got the power to say, right, I'm going to go to customer service and say, what's happened with this? Or I'm going to go to my counsellor and say, I logged this. Why hasn't it been done? And you're empowering your counsellor. We won't talk ward committees as yet, but you've got a whole ward committee that can help you as well. So you're empowering them, you're empowering the city, because they can actually make a difference. They can come out there and fix something they knew nothing about and they're not getting moaned at. And you're empowering yourself because you're making a change. And a small change. But if you make that change and your neighbour sees that it worked and the road sees that it worked, and before you know it, everybody's doing it, imagine that.
I'm so excited about just these little steps, because as more and more people join rates associations and more community engagement with city grows, it can create an ecosystem where stuff starts to work again.
100%.
But we're taking some ownership.
It's exactly like SAPS. So with SAPS, you go and you log a crime and they give you a case number. They submit that to KZN or, I don't know, the country, whatever, and their staff numbers are dictated by how many crimes were reported in your area.
Yeah, so if you want a small police station, make sure you don't
Please
log.
don't, yeah. It drives us insane. Like it was just a cell phone. Go log it.
Yes.
Because it slowly starts going down.
Yes.
They start getting less and less people, and then the crime goes up and up and up. And it's exactly the same with the eThekwini. If you're not logging, how do they justify next year's budget? How do they sit there going, well, actually, we've got a lot of potholes, we need to give roads more money, or whatever to help maintain it? They don't know because they're not being logged. So actually, you're not fighting them, you're helping them.
Yes, brilliant.